Hey guys, Majeffries here, and welcome to episode 147, I think this is, or 148, I think it's 147, of You Don't Want Anything With Kids. And in the last episode, we beat Northampton 2-1 in the Johnstone's Paint Trophy South final first leg. Now we have got Newcastle in the FA Cup 5th round, which is a hell of a lot easier to say than the Johnstone's Paint Trophy South final first leg. Couple of things. Let's go for our best 11 again, and then we'll work backwards. We'll lose Jones and Beckhold. The couple of things. Vukic will be returning to face Newcastle for the first time since he left, and so will Campbell. And actually, Campbell impressed me in the last game, so I think he's worth a place in the starting lineup. And he's on the same level as Wilson, so it's a risk, but I'm going to reunite Campbell and Morgan and see how well they do. We also have another new signing in the shape of Sylvain Marveaux, who is on loan from Reading until the end of the season, again as cover for Beckhold in case he gets injured. And sure enough, Beckhold is injured, which means we'll have a start for, let's put Marshall on the left hand side there, and we'll put Klopmas at left back, which means there's room on the bench for Doherty. So, our lineup is Quintana, Villa, Cartwright, Howlett, Mundle, Klopmas, Manton, McConnor, Thompson, Marshall, Morgan, Campbell. And our bench is O'Brien, Webster, Doherty, Pugliese, Grant, Johnston and Vukic. Although, I am tempted to swap out Pugliese for Delamond, so let's do that, because we've got plenty of centre-backs on the bench, not that many midfielders. So we'll put Delamond on the bench, and then we've got Grant as well, and we can move Johnston up onto the right-hand side and move Thompson back if need be too. And that is the importance of having a versatile squad. Players to look out for in the Newcastle squad. Well, basically all of them. Players to especially look out for: Gerard Deulofeu, Shane Long, Papis Cisse, Yohan Cabaye, Saido Berahino, which, funnily enough, Newcastle are actually being linked with in the press at the moment, for real. So that's kind of funny to see that he's already there on here. Jack Colback has made the move from Sunderland, again, as suggested by the media. This game is surprisingly realistic when it comes to transfers like that. I don't know whether they have something built in, they just press a button and, oh, that transfer's been made. But, yeah, surprisingly realistic. So anyway, let's see if we can cause another cup upset. We've already knocked out West Ham on our route to where we are now. Let's see if we can beat Newcastle on their own turf as well, because that'd be quite funny. As much as I love Newcastle, I like to get the wins, and this will definitely help with the club's reputation if we're going through the FA Cup rounds. I think this is the furthest we've ever got in this competition. Ooh, that was a good chance from McConnor there in only the 3rd minute of the game. Would have been very, very special if we'd scored that one. I'd like to see if we can get an early goal, because I can see Newcastle turning on the afterburners in the second half. And you see it started already. Henderson with the shot there, which Quintana had to palm behind. Now they've got a corner, which Deulofeu will take. Goes for the near post. Ricochets around a little bit. Klopmas hacks it clear. Again, we got a little bit lucky with that one. Byron with the throw into, is it Yuri? Yuri? I don't know whether, if he's Spanish, it's probably pronounced Yuri or just Luri. I'm not 100% sure. Someone might have to let me know that one, because I don't want to offend anybody. Right, we need to start a counter-attack. McConnor gets the header, but only as far as Henderson. Quintana manages to make the catch there, though. Let's see how far he can get it up. Oh no, we won't see how far he can get it upfield, because the game decides to cut out at that point. Shots-wise, Newcastle all over us. 3 on target, out of 3 in total. We've had 1 shot, and that was the McConnor effort, as you all know, was not on target. So I'm a little bit worried. Deulofeu's just put them 1-0 up, so now I'm incredibly worried. We don't seem to have got out the traps at the start of this match. In all honesty, we have been lacklustre in front of goal. haven't really created any chances. Certainly haven't taken any chances, because like I said, we haven't created any. Newcastle have had 5 shots, 5 on target, and scored, all inside 11 minutes. Which, I mean, for them that's brilliant. For us, that's really, really poor. You expect a lot better from us than that. So yeah, we need to step our game up a little bit. Alessandri's got injured for Newcastle, and he has to go off, so Bertrand's come on to replace him. That really, though, sounds like it's just their defence being shored up a little bit more. Let's see what Marshall can do from this free kick. Okay, that was a good free kick from Marshall. Krul got across his goal, but couldn't keep it out. Just palmed it into the back of his net. I've never seen Marshall score a goal like that before. Normally his goals are tap-ins. That was incredible. What a hit that was, right in the postage stamp. That's a fantastic effort. I don't even think the best keeper in the world could have kept that free kick out. That's really, really good. And now we're back in the game, which is fantastic. Good for morale again. Now Thompson's playing through Campbell. We're starting to get into our stride a little bit more. Cross from Campbell to the far post. There's Morgan with the first effort, which is saved. Marshall coming in at the far post was, pardon the pun, but marshalled out the way by Haidara. And now Newcastle are on the counter-attack. Carroll with the ball over the top. Howlett-Mundell stops it, arriving at the foot of Long, who's pretty good at bringing balls down from the air like that. If anyone watched West Brom versus Aston Villa earlier this season, they'd have seen exactly what I mean. He has a very, very good first touch. But let's see if we can keep our momentum up and try and get in front before half-time. We've now had 4 shots, 2 of which have been on target. Newcastle have had 8 shots on target, 7 shots on target out of 8 shots in total, one of which we just saw there. Is that no goal? No, goal from Bertrand. Okay, we're 2-1 down now. But we've shown once we can fight back. Why not do it again? It'll dent Newcastle, that's for sure. Because fighting back once, you might put it down to being a fluke, or just a stroke of good luck, or, you know, just one good attack led to a goal. But if you do it twice, in fact, Newcastle got lucky there because Howlett-Mundell cleared it and it rebounded off Bertrand, and that's what took it in. So, not brilliant from Howlett-Mundell, but lucky for Bertrand and very lucky for Newcastle. But the team is starting to play a lot better now. We're starting to move the ball around a lot nicer. Just as I say that, McConnor gives it away. Cartwright wins it back though. Another attack starts up. Manton with a fantastic ball over the top. Campbell with the shot against his former club. Krul manages to palm it behind. We have a corner in a good time of the match to have a corner just before half time. Pull back to Marshall at the edge of the box. Into McConnor. Squares it for Howlett-Mundell. Driven at the goal but straight at the keeper. It's probably the easiest save Krul will have to make all match. Not so keen on those. I think the effort is there and the passing movement is working, and I'm glad that they choose to pull the ball back like that. The only issue I have is that it's a centre-back running onto it and not someone who might have a reputation for hitting long-range shots. So I'd rather have like a Thompson or a Delamond running onto that than a Howlett-Mundell or a Cartwright. And that's no disrespect to them. I'm sure they'd agree with me if they were real people and had an opinion. But, you know, you guys know what I mean. You'd rather have someone who you know can hit the target and actually challenge the keeper than someone who can just hit a shot that, you know, you can say it's on target, but it has no real chance of going in. Right, we've won another corner, and this is literally on the stroke of half time now. Villa steps up, hits it short to McConnor. Back to Villa. Left foot cross, not a very good one. Cartwright with the head forward again, cleared off the line by De La Feu, although Krul had that one covered. And Carroll on the counter-attack. And actually, that was a Newcastle player in the middle. But I don't think the cross got to him. And it is now half-time. So, we're not punished too much for that mistake. Half-time sub. McConnor is not looking good out there. So let's bring Delamond on early and see if he can change things up. Because, like I said, I'd rather have someone like him running onto a short corner. So, let's put him out there and see what he can do. Well, the first thing he's done is brought down Carroll and got a telling off from Howard Webb, who is refereeing us a lot at the moment. I think it's the 3rd match he's refereed us this season, which, you know, for a League One team, it's not bad to have a Premier League ref you 3 times in a season. It shows you going places. I'd rather we went to places though and actually won the ball back and tried to make an attacking chance. Carroll nearly got onto the end of that cross. Quintana did well to read it and come out and claim it. Now he's picked out Villa, and the counter-attack could be on. Manton through for Campbell. Not much movement from Morgan. Luckily Thompson's running. And his ball over the top was poor. Although that was poor, and Marshall has just made the biggest mistake. That was awful. How's he not scored that? That was played right to him. He went left-footed. He should have gone right-footed. Or, ideally, left it to Morgan, who was running onto it, and could have finished that with his eyes closed. That was the golden chance, and he's missed it. I'm not too impressed with that, to be honest. I'd expect a lot more. And now Delamont's picked up an injury. I'm not going to be rushed to bring him off, because he might shake it off. His stamina is slowly going up again, so I think it was an impact injury rather than a serious one. I'd rather leave him out there, especially because we blinked early and made the sub at half time. I don't really want that to come back and bite me on the backside. Good build-up play from Newcastle, but luckily Quintana is at the end of that attack to thwart their chances. Should I make another sub up front? Campbell's on 81%, Morgan's on 6.4. It's a question of which one do I bring off. Do I bring off the out-form player or do I bring off the tired player? I mean, Campbell scored in our last game and Morgan didn't, so that sort of swings that one. Plus Campbell might want to score against his old club, prove a point. Maybe that one? What minute are we in? I'll probably do it after 60 minutes, just to see how we're doing. We are making more chances. We've had 6 shots on target now. We're only 3 behind Newcastle, and they are a Premier League side, so we're not that far behind. Score-wise, though, we could do with a goal. Admittedly, before 90 minutes is up, we could do with a goal. I know that's stating the bleeding obvious, but still. Let's just see what we can do. At the moment, we need to win the ball back. Another good save from Quintana. He's kept us in this game. He's made a couple of mistakes over the last few matches to let in sloppy goals, but he's kept us in this one. That was a good header there from, I believe that was from Thompson. Now Morgan with the chance to counter-attack. Decided to kick it out for a throw-in instead. I think that's almost made my mind up as to who's coming off. And we're past 60 minutes. Bertrand's just scored again, so we got to do it. Vukic on, Morgan off, go. Vukic playing against his former club as well, of course. Him and Campbell, former teammates, and current teammates in this case. I'm sure both of them have a point to prove because they were both let go. In fact, Vukic was let go a season early because he joined us from, I think it was Norway he joined us from. So he'd definitely have a point to prove because Newcastle released him. In fact, Kabai's just come on for them, and so is Traore, which is not good for us. That's not good for us at all. But we've made our own sub. We've brought on Vukic. We've now got Vukic and Campbell up front, former Toon strike duo people. They never actually played for the first team together. They have both made first team appearances, just not together. I don't even know how often they played together. All I know is they're playing together now, so they need to make something happen. And fast, because as it stands, we are going out of the tournament. Which, you know, it's still progress from last season, because this is the furthest we've ever got in the FA Cup. But I would have liked to have gone one stage further. I was thinking that mainly before the draw was made, though. Since the draw was made, I was thinking maybe we could be out. And it looks like we are out now, because Long's just made it 4. So, I might as well muck around a little bit. Bring on Grant for Thompson. Put Grant on the right hand side. Just see if he can swing in a couple of crosses for Vukic and Campbell. Make something happen that way. You got Marshall attacking it at the back post as well. You never know. He might get lucky and get his foot on it. If it bounces through to him. Be nice if that did happen. But, like I said, you never know. We sold out our away end quite nicely though. Looked like a full corner down there, which was good. And they did see Marshall's goal. They weren't quite sat behind it, but they were at the end of it at least. It's saying Howlett Mundell is tired, and yes, he is a little bit, but I'm pushing for attack rather than defence right now. That's just poor there from Villa. He could have started a counter-attack if he'd got that pass on target, and he just completely mucked it up. Not impressed with him. There's a lot of players who, sort of around this time of the season, they tend to let it slide, and Villa's been guilty of that in the past. Sort of, he sort of gives up between January and March time, and then suddenly towards the end of the season he starts playing really well again. He needs to do better. He needs to step it up a little bit more. Here is Grant on the ball to Delamond, Mantum, Vukic, round the corner to Marshall. Another good effort and another good save from Krul. 11 shots, 7 on target. Newcastle have had 12 in 16. So again, stats-wise, considering where Newcastle are, status, we're doing okay to keep up with them. It's just the whole thing of they've scored 4 and we've only scored 1. I'd have liked that to have been a bit more balanced. Quintana has done well still. He's kept out 8 of their shots. I'd say at least 4 of them could have ended up in goals themselves. But it's the defence who are letting these easy shots come in. There's a goal from Henderson. Jordan Henderson, another ex-Sunderland player. He seems to have found his way to Newcastle. Not really sure what's going on there. Need an investigation as to that. Why that's allowed to happen. But Traore there with the through ball. Henderson could have perhaps been offside, but the ball should never have got through to him. It should always be cut out. I'd like to think that our strikers are running into those channels all the time. Therefore our defence should know that strikers do make runs into those channels and actually stop them from happening. But it doesn't seem to work that way, unfortunately. Although you think, on the training ground the attackers attack and the defenders defend. So they should learn how attackers attack and therefore know how to defend them. Apparently that message doesn't convey onto an actual match day, which is frustrating. That's Bertrand with the pullback to Traore. Blocked once. Haidara through to Bertrand again. Into Long. Howlett Mundell for some reason tried to hit it behind for a corner when he could have just put his foot through it and got it up the pitch. This is damage limitations now. I just don't want to concede another goal, because that's not going to do us any good when we've got the second leg against Northampton in the very next match. So I'd rather we went into that with our heads not drooping against the floor, preferably. Even a second goal, to say we scored twice against a Premier League team, that would be nice. Can't see it happening, but it would be nice if it did. That's a poor kick from Quintana, easily intercepted. Poor kick from Howlett Mundell, easily intercepted. Now he's out of position, just about gets back to stop Henderson from getting that ball. Are we going to see another poor placed pass? Well, at the moment he seems very, very indecisive. Very indecisive. And now he's hoofed it upfield. He hasn't found Mantum, and he hasn't found Grant. Another poor ball. Delamond with a good interception though. Campbell on it now. Into the path of Vukic. He's got Grant on the overlap, and he picks him out. And that's Grant with a shot, and it's high and wide. Disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing. Not pleased with that at all. That's a poor attack. Never going to cause the defence any kind of problem there. Now Villa on the ball. Pushes it into the box to Vukic. Doesn't get his shot away. And it's cleared. And now Traore on the counter-attack. And of course he's onside because he was in his own half. You can't be offside in your own half. He's now got a run at goal. Skips past one challenge. Quintana makes the save. Delamond with a stupid header. And it took a good challenge from Klopmas to stop Traore getting another go. That was unbelievable. What were they doing? Now Grant forced into a foul on Bertrand, so he's probably going to get booked for that. And this is just farcical now. We are totally falling apart. And yep, that is a booking for Mr. Robert Grant. Just sums us up really. Poor free kick from Bertrand, at least sparing our blushes in that respect. But that is full time, and we have lost 5-1. Our FA Cup run comes to a dismal end, unfortunately. And I'm not going to linger about. I'm going to end this episode as quick as possible. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon. Thank you.